Hey guys, welcome back to Death. I got that in there.
Hello.
I'm Ashley.
Kevin here.
See, I remembered this time.
Oh, yeah.
To introduce myself.
I totally forgot. Good job.
Yep. Gotta switch my brain now to fraud from the Murdoch trial.
Oh, yeah.
Watching that coverage all morning and then literally this whole week.
Yep. I've been trying to work, and there's been that going on the TV.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
It's super interesting. I'm assuming if you guys are listening to this, you probably know what the Murdoch trial is. Anyway, he was found guilty, serving 2 life sentences consecutively, meaning once he dies, they almost need to bring him back and make him do another life sentence.
Zombie sentence.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't like the fact that his name is spelled Murdaugh, and people are saying Murdoch. Is this...
it's a big controversy in the true crime thing, because a lot of people want to say it like it's spelled, which would be Alex Murdaugh.
Right.
But apparently in South Carolina... that is not how you say it, and people are very passionate about it. So it is Alec Murdoch.
That's dumb.
So, yeah. Anyway, we're not talking about that case
No.
today.
We're talking about a balloon boy, I guess.
Oh yeah. So
what does this mean? So this is
this is non-murder.
A non-murder case.
So I decided to kind of go back and forth. If you weren't here last week, and do one week do a terrible murder case, and then the next week do a fraud scam case where it's a little bit lighthearted.
Great. So awful or boring?
No, this is actually pretty interesting, and
Okay.
I remember the day that this happened, because I was kind of researching what I should talk about this time as far as fraud, scam, and I came upon this one and I was like, oh my god, I remember this. So the day that this happened, I was living in Houston still, but I was going to drive back to Amarillo, where I'm from, and visit my friends.
That's a 10-hour drive.
Almost 11. It's basically 11.
Oh my god. That is a nightmare.
Yeah, so it was first thing in the morning. I had heard about this on the way to Amarillo, and I just remember thinking about it the whole time, being like, can I see the balloon from here? Even though it was in Colorado, and obviously I wouldn't have been able to see it from where I was driving, but I just kept driving thinking, maybe I'll see it. So I remember this. You've never heard of this,
I've
right?
never, ever heard of this.
So...
When you first told me about the balloon boy, I assumed you meant a boy that lives in a balloon.
Oh,
but
bubble
that's
boy.
A bubble boy.
Yeah.
That's different. No. Okay.
And
so this is totally different than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be some boy who lives in a balloon bubble and is extorting money from people who didn't actually need to be in said bubble.
No. This is way different.
I bet that's a thing, though. Wasn't there a bubble boy thing? Was
that
real, though?
I don't know. It was on Seinfeld, right?
Was it Seinfeld?
And then, it was a Seinfeld episode. Remember, he goes to visit the Bubble Boy.
Okay.
The Bubble Boy wanted to meet him, and then he offends him in some way.
Oh yeah.
And I think,
All right, I might be just confusing real life with Seinfeld again.
I don't know if that was real. And then I think there was a movie along those lines too.
Okay.
That was
Bubble
a thing
Boys,
in the 90s.
are you out there? Let us know.
I think there was an episode of Grey's that had something to do with that too.
I feel like that could be a thing that happened in the 40s or 50s. I can see that, nuclear war is upon us. Get your bubble ready,
I think it was for someone, these kids didn't have an immune system. And so it was a reverse precaution, a neutropenic precaution is what we call it at the hospital.
A neutropenic precaution.
Meaning they don't have any, they don't have anything to fight an infection if you gave them an infection.
Sure.
So
their white blood cells are insufficient.
Yeah.
And what are the other? Oh, I used to know the name of these things. Something phage.
Oh, macrophages?
No. There's something in your blood, and it's a something phage or whatever, and it eats bad stuff. It's actually good. It eats.
There's a lot of phages.
That just means that you eat something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of them.
I don't know. I saw it in an episode of Archer.
Glucophage. There's a lot of different ones.
They shrink down. kind of like the Magic School Bus, to the size, you know, they go in your body and they're like in the bloodstream. They're trying to fight like infections and stuff or whatever. I forget why.
I don't.
It was a pretty good, nice science lesson though, if it was accurate.
I'm sure some of my nurse friends that listen to this are screaming the answer right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It might be macrophage, but
That's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the one you're.
it doesn't sound right.
Leukophage?
That sounds more correcter.
It's more corrector?
Yeah.
We're going to go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Yeah, that sounds right.
It's like there's a ton of different ones, kind of depending on, I think, where you're at in the body.
I like the bacteriophages, those things that look like aliens.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. The virus is really cool, too.
Well, that is a virus.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Aha, I knew a biology thing.
It's been a long time since I took bio.
I only remembered that because they look so cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Ooh, microbiome was like my favorite class in college.
A bunch of like little robots.
Mm-hmm, they are.
It's kind of neat.
That like hijack your cells.
Yeah.
Information.
Reprogram them to do their bidding.
And they're like, this is mine now.
Yep, and just makes a bunch of copies of it, and then so many that it explodes with more of them to do more of that. It's really cool.
It really is.
It'd be cooler if it didn't kill us and make us sick.
Yeah, that's
the not cool part.
We should do an episode on viruses, murders.
Is that really murder?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't.
I mean, it is life killing life, so. Or, I mean, some scientists question whether or not viruses should really be considered living. There's not a consensus on whether or not they're actually living things or not. Bacteria, they're like, yeah, for sure. But viruses, they're like, we don't know if we actually should call these alive or not.
Interesting.
Like living things or not, like life forms.
I would think they are.
You would think so, but they have like different sets of criteria.
Oh, and they don't meet
and
those.
Doesn't meet them in the way that we're accustomed to.
Kind of like Pluto, how
it
should have been a planet,
yeah,
but it didn't meet the criteria to be a planet.
Right, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, why not, right?
Why not?
But some scientists say.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, let us know. Are viruses alive?
Yes, please, because we know Pluto is not a planet.
I know one property of life is you have to maintain homeostasis. Which means like you have to maintain like a regulated internal environment that stays the same regardless of the exterior environment. Kind of like how we keep like a regulated like body temperature, for example.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, once we start a science podcast, we will invite you back.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
But neither of us are scientists.
No, I have a bachelor's degree in science.
Sure. That fine. I guess that works.
That works.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
We'll be fine.
All right. So
okay, back to Balloon Boy.
Balloon Boy fraud. So I got all my information from the BBC, an article from BBC, a article from the NBC News, a article from USA Today, and of course Wikipedia. So this is a funny case, I think. So lighthearted, let's go.
All right.
On October 15, 2009, a homemade helium-filled gas balloon shaped to resemble a silver flying saucer was released into the atmosphere above Fort Collins, Colorado.
Okay, let's put this up.
Yes. Oh, yes. So that is the balloon, and we are going to come to find out that this boy was reported to be in this balloon.
Oh, really? They said the boy was in the balloon?
Yes. Uh-huh. So this balloon was released by his parents, Richard and Mayami Henney. They claimed that their 6-year-old son, Falcon, was trapped inside of it.
Falcon?
Falcon is
awesome.
his name.
That is
it is a cool name. So authorities confirmed...
My name is Falcon.
I know, that's a super cool name. So authorities confirmed that the balloon reached 7,000 feet during its 90-minute flight.
All right.
So high. So the National Guard helicopters...
Sorry, how high again?
7,000 feet.
7,000 feet, okay. Just to put that in perspective, I believe most planes, like commercials, like fly like between like 32 and 40,000 feet.
Okay, so...
It's like a good like quarter of the way up there to like we're way above the clouds. You know what it's like looking when you're in an airplane and like you've been in there for like an hour or two and you look down and you're like, holy crap, am I high up? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it got pretty high.
It got pretty high, yeah.
Can you imagine being a kid in that balloon?
No,
trapped?
I could imagine being a kid and being 20 feet off the ground in a balloon.
Oh my god.
Let alone 7,000.
So the National Guard helicopters and local police pursued this balloon.
Okay.
After flying for more than an hour and approximately 50 miles, the balloon landed about 12 miles northeast of Denver International Airport.
All right.
Where Falcon was not found inside. And it was reported that an object had been seen falling from the balloon.
Oh, Falcon fell out.
So a search was begun because they were like, holy shit, this kid just fell out of this unregulated flying object.
Right.
Like, no one said that this flying object could be carrying a
Right.
Like,
I guess technically it's a UFO.
yeah, technically it is, except that it was identified because these people called it in themselves.
Later, at the moment, it was unidentified, right?
Well, they called it in themselves, the Hennies.
Like, as soon as it took off?
Pretty much because they said that we'll get to it, but they said that their kid was inside and they were like, this just happened. Like, oh my God. So that's how people were alerted to it.
Got it.
So we're going to talk about the parents that were involved in this. Richard Henney and Miami, I'm going to try her last name, and I'm sure it's going to be wrong, Azuka. They met in acting school in Hollywood, California.
Acting.
Yes, acting. And they got married in 1997. Henney, the man, Richard, he tried to do acting, he tried stand-up comedy, and he had no success at either.
He did not Seinfeld.
He did not Seinfeld.
He couldn't Bubble Boy, so he had to do Balloon Boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And he and his wife ran a home business producing demo reels for actors for a while.
Okay.
Henney was also a handyman. Associates described him as a shameless self-promoter who would do almost anything to advance his latest endeavors.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
He wanted to be in the spotlight. I think we all kind of know those people.
Yeah, we are not that, which is why no one listens to us.
Exactly. I feel bad. I'm like, you can listen to me or you can. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah,
whatever
we do
you
like
want.
this murder podcast thing. It's fine. It's
fine.
You know what? It sucks.
Don't
Don't listen to it. Don't waste your time.
It's really
I'm sure
just
you've got
for
better
us.
things to do.
Oh, we're so bad at that.
I know.
You're better at it for your game.
No, I'm not.
No?
I'm not really. Like, remember when we went to that show? I should have read it.
Oh,
What a great
yeah.
opportunity. I could have,
know.
when they were doing like Q&A, I could have like shamelessly promoted myself.
You totally could have.
It didn't even cross my mind.
Oh my god. We got to do that next time if they have another one.
Yeah, they'll won't do it because be like, oh, they'll probably have like a promo pile where
I
they
bet
throw
so.
things
They're
out.
like, no.
But I didn't even think about it. I didn't even try. I should have tried.
You should have tried.
But I didn't even think about it.
No.
I gotta start thinking about things I don't think about somehow.
To be fair, we were kind of like, we were just happy we made it to that show
That's
on
true.
time.
That's true. When we found parking.
No, we walked that show, remember? We got to our hotel. They didn't have our hotel room. They
Oh
said
my God,
maybe
yes.
hours till we get it. They couldn't tell us. We had a show to get to. We wanted to eat.
We booked a
were
hotel.
dressed
We
in-
get there and they're saying, sorry, your room's not won't be ready for hours. We're like, what?
We said, so what time will it be ready? Because, like, okay, if it's going to be ready at this time, maybe we can go to the bathroom and just get ready for the show, like, whatever. Oh, we can't tell you. We have no idea. So we sat and stewed and stared at them forever.
We didn't sit. We stood right
in
next to
front of
the office line, so we were right in sight of these people. We didn't say anything, you know. We
No.
did ask one time. We were like, is there really nothing you guys can do? We tried, and we were trying to be polite about it. We didn't
Yeah.
like want to be Karens, but we didn't want to do what the other people were doing, which were like sitting way far
way
away.
far away and just waiting out of sight. And luckily, they were like, okay, here's your room and here's
Listen,
a drink voucher. We're so sorry.
We had a show to be to in like an hour and a half.
And we were dressed in pajamas because we were thinking, oh, we drove from Houston. We were in Austin.
Yeah, we needed a room.
We needed a room. We were in pajamas. We stunk. Like, we wanted to take showers, like,
We
get
had
dressed.
stuff to put in
We
place.
had worked out that morning,
We
remember?
had luggage.
Oh my god, it was a mess. We were hungry. We
Oh,
really
we were so
wanted to
hungry.
go eat before we went to the show.
So we stood near the line and just kind of looked not happy.
And then they gave us our room with drink vouchers, and we walked past this lady who had been there for 3 hours who said, "You got your room already?" We said, "Yep, peace out, bye.
See you later, sorry."
Don't talk to us.
I had to go to the bathroom so
Oh,
bad. Because
yeah,
I remember
that's
I was
right.
on my way to go to the bathroom, and then you called me
Yeah.
back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, God, yeah. Anyway, we made it to the show. It was fun. Cool. We got COVID.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, we did get COVID.
That sucked. It was our
But we didn't really
first time.
start feeling it till we got back, for the most part.
I mean, we did sleep for like a million hours the next day.
Yeah.
We were like, why did we sleep the whole day away on our vacation?
I know, and like I was a little nauseous when eating like that delicious barbecue.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I was a little off. But we did do the bat kayak thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
All right. Anyways, back to balloon.
Sorry,
people.
back
no,
to
no
balloon
one wants to hear
people.
about our stupid Austin trip.
Yeah, sorry.
It was kind of cool.
You can
though.
just kind of fast forward through that if
yeah.
you want to.
Yeah.
So,
Austin's fun though.
Austin's fun. I love
Austin, Texas, in case it wasn't obvious.
So Henny became a storm chaser in the 1970s.
This is the guy?
Yeah, the guy.
A storm chaser.
After a storm took the roof off his building he was working on.
Oh, okay.
Henny's storm chasing included riding a motorcycle into a tornado and reportedly flying a plane around the perimeter of Hurricane Wilma in 2005.
I'm kind of a fan of this guy at the moment.
I know he seems cool, but he kind of he regularly involved his children in his endeavors.
No, he sounds like
which sucks.
really cringy.
Yeah.
But like, I admire the balls of riding a motorcycle into a tornado. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So he took his kids along on UFO hunting expeditions and storm chasing missions.
That's dangerous.
The Henny, yeah, very dangerous. I would not recommend taking
Drive
your
yourself
children.
into a tornado. Don't take your kids along.
So the Hennys have 3 sons, Falcon, Bradford, and Rio.
Okay.
So right before this balloon boy incident happened, a domestic violence investigation was launched at the Henny home in 2009. So this was February. The balloon incident happened in October. They found that my Umi was seen with a mark on her cheek and broken blood vessels in her left eye.
Okay, so this guy is not great.
No,
All
it
right.
doesn't seem like it.
All right, damn it.
I know. And I hope I'm saying her name right. I meant to go look up the pronunciation. Mayumi.
That looks right.
Yeah. So the family, for any of you guys who love reality TV, the family was featured on Wife Swap on 2 separate occasions.
That was a real show?
You never watched Wife Swap?
No, I thought this Chappelle show thing was they were just making things up.
No, that was like a really famous show for a long time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they would just
They just trade people's like wives around like objects?
Well,
Like, here, I'll trade your wife for my
right.
wife.
So it was like
I've got the Michael Jordan rookie card. Oh, you got the Larry Bird? Let's trade.
it was more like, so it was like 2 families that had totally opposite ways of living, right? So it'd be like a
that's
super religious, crazy family with like a very secular.
that was the premise of the Chappelle
Crazy
show
family.
thing. It was like, very urban
Oh yeah, I
gentleman
do
moving in with a
remember that.
very suburban Karen type,
That's
person.
right, I do
it was
remember that.
yes.
It was very accurate.
Who the hell is Renee Zellweger? Right.
So they were on there twice, and the second time as a fan favorite choice for the 100th episode. So people loved them so much they brought them back a second time for the
Okay.
100th episode
On the wife swap.
on the Wife Swap.
Okay. So she swapped with somebody else.
Yeah, so
Alright.
she went to live with a different family.
Okay.
Oh, side note, there was a family that
Uh-huh.
was on Wife Swap where the son murdered the entire family.
What?
Not
Like,
too terribly
in the
long
show?
ago. No. Like years after the show had aired.
Oh, but still, damn.
Maybe we'll do that one day.
Alright.
That's crazy. Another Wife Swap true crime thing.
Okay, that's close enough to the whatever we're going for.
Yeah. During the show Wife Swap, Henny expressed his belief that humanity descended from aliens
Okay.
and spoke of launching homemade flying saucers into storms.
I mean, there is a scientific theory called transpermia that involves that, but it's more like some like micro stuff, like little proteins
yeah,
or
I've
something
heard
are on
of
like an
that.
asteroid and slammed into Earth, and then like life as we know it came from that.
Yeah.
But that's not even like largely believed in theory. They're just like, all right, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know otherwise.
But I'm assuming this guy like thought like aliens and spaceships
Yeah.
like beam down things.
Like the green men and the spaceships type of thing.
Yeah.
So Henney had unsuccessfully sought the media's interest in a proposed reality show called The Science Detectives, where he envisioned a series to investigate the mysteries of science.
Okay.
He pitched the show to TLC, and the network passed on the offer. Sorry, Richard. No go on that.
Yeah.
So he had a saucer-shaped balloon that was an early prototype of a vehicle which people can pull out of their garage and hover over traffic.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
I mean, it's cool, like, thought, but wouldn't
Yeah.
everyone be doing that? Why would anybody be in their car?
I don't know. That's a great question.
He also stated that once the high-voltage timer was switched on, the balloon would emit 1 million volts every 5 minutes.
Why?
For 1 minute in order to move left and right and horizontal.
Oh, that sounds really wasteful. Like, how are you going to power this thing?
I don't know. I mean, these like voltages like move you, and I guess you can control them somehow.
Sure, I get it, the idea, but the power, I mean, that much anyways, I don't think this idea was very well fleshed out.
I don't think so.
I've heard people, like, rant and rave about their, teleporter ideas and hover car ideas, and I can't believe that people actually say these things out loud in front of other people.
Yeah, he was like pitching it. He was like, this is how this is going to work.
Because to me, it sounds like you're a ranting lunatic.
Yeah, but if you're a lunatic, do you know you're a lunatic?
I don't. I guess not.
So this balloon that he made was 20 feet in diameter, 5 feet high, and was constructed from plastic tarps taped together, covered with aluminum foil, and held together with string and duct tape.
Dope.
Its base, which Falcon allegedly rode in, was a box made from a very thin piece of plywood and cardboard on the side, and was held together by string and duct tape.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds safe.
Sounds super safe. So, we were talking about how high the
7,000
balloon,
feet.
yeah, the balloon reached. So Fort Collins, where it was launched from, has an elevation of 5,000 feet.
Okay.
And the balloon was estimated 7,000. So that
All
kind
right,
of tells you.
So it's like 2,000 over the
Right.
ground.
Mm-hmm. So that tells you that.
7,000, I'm assuming you mean above sea level.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right.
I did not put that in my notes, but yes, that's
That sounds
what I
about
mean.
right, yeah. Just by the way you said the last thing, how Fort Collins is, you said like 5,000.
Above sea level,
Right.
Yeah, you're right. So, the family suspected that Falcon was missing when immediately after the balloon had taken off,
Missing Falcon!
Falcon is missing.
That sounds like a code. The Falcon is missing.
Well, I mean, now they have that Marvel character, Falcon.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Falcon
Yeah.
and the Winter Soldier or whatever.
Right.
So, spoiler alert, he's the new Captain America.
I thought that other guy was. Oh, yeah, no, that is him.
Mm-hmm.
Falcon. Right. Why did I confuse Falcon for the Winter Soldier guy? I don't know. I don't watch those things.
Falcon's brother told them that he had seen the 6-year-old climb into the balloon's basket before they released it.
Okay.
And then a home video released the following day showed the launch of the balloon. Richard inspects the basket, and his family counts down in unison, and from 3, 2 to 1, before releasing the cord. Apparently believing the balloon to be tethered a few feet from the ground, the family started screaming in distress when it floated into the sky.
Okay.
Richard can be seen kicking the wood frame that supported the balloon, yelling a mist of myriads of obscene words.
Okay.
You didn't put the fucking tether down. Falcon is nowhere to be seen, and no one mentions the possibility of Falcon being in the balloon in that video.
Okay.
So according to initial reports from the sheriff, the family first called the FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Administration. Although later the sheriff's office stated they had no confirmation that Richard actually made the call.
I would say that's like a really like responsible thing to do for a guy that drives motorcycles into tornadoes.
Right. So there's no confirmation, so who knows if he actually did that.
I don't believe that he did.
Nah, probably not.
I'd put money on this guy did not call the FAA and announce that he accidentally launched I almost said spacecraft, an aircraft
An aircraft.
of some kind.
Then, what is believable, he proceeded to call Denver NBC affiliate QSA TV.
I do believe it.
I do
TV,
believe that.
TV,
They reportedly requested that the station send a news helicopter to track the balloon's progress. And then he called emergency services. So he wasn't so worried about his son that he called the authorities first. He called the news first.
Right.
Then he called emergency services and called 911 at 11:29 local time.
Priorities.
Richard said, "I don't know whether it's possible you guys could detect the electricity that it emits. It emits 1,000,000 volts on the outer skin."
What?
Like, I guess volts, like, so he thought he could maybe tell if his son was in there because of the voltage being released from his son's skin? I don't know.
Did this thing actually work?
I don't think so. I think it was just when
It sounds like a balloon.
It kind of was, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. So the balloon was tracked by helicopters, which drifted 60 miles, passing through Adams County and Will County in Colorado.
I want to study more of this balloon design.
I know.
And figure out what his idea
Well, we have
is.
pictures of it.
Yeah, I see the pictures, but that doesn't tell too much.
No. So the planes were rerouted around the balloon's flight path, and the Denver International Airport was briefly shut down. And so they reported that the airport was shut down, but it was like a rumor. It actually wasn't shut down. The balloon finally landed 2 hours later at 1:35 p.m. local time in Kinsburg, 12 miles northeast of the Denver International Airport. So when they went to inspect it, Boy was not in there.
Okay.
They were concerned that he had fallen out during the flight. That was their biggest concern.
Yeah.
Although when they looked at the balloon, it didn't appear that anything had gotten out of it.
Okay.
Right? Like nothing had been breached.
Good.
The sheriff's office said that the door was unlocked in the balloon, so there was a little door that led to a hatch, but it was unlocked. A sheriff reportedly saw something fall from the balloon near Plateville, Colorado, or Platteville, Colorado. I'm not sure which one. Probably Platt. And a picture of the balloon in flight with a small black dot below was said to suggest the boy may have fallen out.
Oh my.
Or that something had detached from the balloon. So they sent search and rescue crews out there and searched for the boy. Nothing.
Okay.
So this was like at about 1:30 in the afternoon. At approximately 4:14, CNN and other news reported that the boy was found hiding in a cardboard box in rafters above their garage.
Really?
Yeah. So the sheriff, Jim Alderdine, later said, "For all we know, he may have been 2 blocks down the road playing on the swing in the city park." So they were like, yeah, not in there. He's found. And I think at that time, the news, like the media started being like, so this feels weird about this. But the police initially said that they didn't think it was a hoax, that it appeared to be all real.
Okay. I mean, it's good to take it seriously when there very well could be a child in a balloon.
Yeah.
7,000 feet.
But even after they found the boy, the cops thought, like, okay, maybe it was just they thought the boy was in there and he wasn't. Like,
Okay.
They didn't think there was any malice.
I see. Okay.
The New York Post estimated that the total cost of the rescue operation was about $2 million.
What?
Yes. The helicopter flights alone were $14,500.
Oh, man.
And the Colorado National Guard assisted with the efforts with UH-60 Blackhawks and
That's a lot of gas.
OH-58 Kiowa helicopters.
I don't know.
So yeah, this was a lot of people that were like alerted and like flying around looking for this kid. So
What about
lot
the
of
search
resources.
sharks? The search sharks?
there were search sharks.
Did they release the search sharks?
I hope so.
Okay, good.
I mean, that's at least $1 million right there.
That's what I was wondering about, because those things to even store cost like $300,000 like a month.
Yeah. Are we really talking about sharks like the fish?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
search sharks.
Okay, good. I thought we were. I was just making sure.
Okay,
it wasn't
well,
like a cold
last time I checked,
helicopter.
Colorado had the most of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So funny. Think about that country song that's like, he has like a waterfront property to sell you in like Arizona or something.
Yes. But
yeah, you know what song I'm talking about.
no.
Right? I'm not gonna sing it because I don't have that singing talent.
You could.
Oceanfront property in Arizona.
Who's the artist?
I don't know. He's country.
Okay. That one country
I'm sure
guy?
my parents are screaming it right now.
Tom Countryfolk Fold?
Maybe George Strait, Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks,
like
George
that.
Strait. Where's the other ones? Clint Black.
Alabama.
Is Alabama country really?
Yeah.
Okay. I always thought that was more of like a country rock. I have no idea. I don't really listen to Alabama.
I think they're country.
Okay.
They definitely
maybe because I
sounded
confuse
like
them
it to
with
me.
Chicago.
Oh yeah, they're not Chicago.
I thought all the city name bands are all the same genre.
No, no. Alabama, my dad
Boston,
used to listen to, and they definitely
Chicago.
sound like country.
Boston, Chicago, Alabama.
One of them.
Yeah.
So the police, like I said, they initially said like, okay, this was not a
The
hoax.
search sharks have leashes though.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, you have to keep them on leashes.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, they'll just run away. Or like not run, but they'll fishy swim.
The fishy swim away.
Yeah, you can't have that. They're too expensive.
Are they the ones that are in the laser fight?
The laser fights? Now you're just being crazy.
Right?
What laser fights?
The NSP talks about.
Oh, the dinosaur laser
The
fight.
dinosaur laser fights. There were laser fights. There were sharks in that,
Did you
right?
say laser farts?
I did.
I am now picturing laser farts. That's a whole other thing.
Dinosaur laser fight in space.
Right.
And there were aliens, and then there were sharks.
Yes, and then there were sharks.
But the sharks got killed by the aliens
The sharks
and the
got killed?
dinosaurs.
Oh no. I thought just the aliens and the dinosaurs killed each other. And the sharks were just sort of there.
I think they got killed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What a tragedy.
That was a tragedy. Yeah.
By laser farts?
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh. All right.
It's a
Anyway,
fun episode.
It's a fun episode. Go look up dinosaur laser fight. You will not be sorry.
Right, by the band
Ninja
Sex Party.
Hilarious. And they were great. We saw them live and it was like the best concert I've ever been to.
It was fun.
It was super fun. So, the family went on CNN.
With sharks.
Yes, with sharks. So, the family went on CNN, Larry King Live.
Okay, that guy.
And he asked Falcon, why did you not come out of the garage? After his parents repeated the question.
Let me guess his answer. I don't know.
He responded, you guys said we did this for the show.
Oh, he just straight up said it.
Yes. Oh, okay. So this was on Larry King Live, but it was Wolf Blitzer that was doing the interview. Sorry, Wolf Blitzer. My bad. Didn't give you the credit. Blitzer questioned Heen and Falcon further after that statement was made. The next day, during interviews with Good Morning America and NBC's Today, the boy vomited. When asked about this, his comment again when his father was
On
asked
live
about
TV?
it feeling more suspicion. Yeah.
Oh
so
my
he was
God.
being questioned and he got so nervous he
He just
puked.
threw. Oh, I kind of want to watch that. I mean, I feel bad for the kid.
That's what I was thinking. This poor kid, he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, my parents are telling me to say this thing, but then the news has asked me this question. Like,
that
should I
is
tell
just
the truth? Should I?
The idea of just being so nervous that you just throw up is just.
It reminds me of Kyle, right? Isn't Kyle the one that pukes, or was that Stan?
That is Stan from South Park.
Stan, okay.
Which is relevant because it's Colorado.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's Stan. But he throws up when he gets romantically nervous
That's
around
right.
Bebe. No, not
There's a
Bebe.
girl that I love.
What's her name? Oh my God.
Wendy.
Wendy. Thank you. Jeez Louise. I was thinking of when Dee in Always Sunny does stand up and she does a dry heaving when she gets so nervous.
Every time she's doing stand up, she starts dry heaving. Oh my god.
So I was on my way to the bus stop yesterday and whoa!
Yeah. Oh my god. She's so good at comedy.
So this kid does it. He's on live TV and they ask him about it and he's like,
Yeah, he vomits when he's
Okay.
asked about that. So, his interviews, the
At
family's
least he didn't
interviews.
pee himself.
That's true. That would be
Sorry.
terrible.
Sorry, continue.
No, his answers prompted the sheriff's office to pursue investigation, which, of course. So on October 16th, the sheriff states that the suggestion that the boy was coached to hide seems inconceivable.
Okay.
Famous last words.
Right.
So a researcher, Robert Thomas, sold a story to Gawker, alleging that he had helped plan a publicity stunt involving a weather balloon, and investigators expressed a desire to interview him. So the sheriffs consulted Colorado State University physics professor Brian Jones, who initially determined that based on the dimensions provided by Richard Henney, that the balloon could plausibly fly off with a boy of Falcon's reported size.
Okay.
At the time, he was about 37 pounds. However, when authorities later measured the balloon, they concluded it was not large enough to lift the child.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because people have always tried these things to launch with balloons, but they always underestimate how many balloons they actually need.
And yeah, just like how much it takes to actually lift a person.
Yeah, people
Even
are
a
heavy.
small person.
Yeah, try like lifting a dog off the ground with balloons.
Right.
Actually, don't do that.
Can we do that, buddy?
Buddy, you want to
He's
go
not
fly?
even here.
He's
We do
heavy.
that. Maybe Nobi.
He's like 65 pounds. We
That's true.
could.
Nobi's only 11 pounds.
Nobody's really old now.
Yeah, that's true.
No. Instead of letting her die of old age, we can just blast her off to the heavens in a balloon
And
ride.
later we will have the animal services people come to check up on us. Nobi, we are not going to do that to you.
Fine.
So, upon inspecting the balloon, authorities learned it only weighed 18 pounds. 18 pounds more than Henney had said. The sheriff said that based on the balloon, the base of the balloon could have handled 37 pounds without breaking. But to get airborne with these 37 pounds inside, it would have to have been attached to a more powerful balloon. So it just couldn't work. So after viewing the home video of the balloon launch, the sheriff said that the balloon appeared to have been rising very quickly. Like way too quickly to have like a whole person
weight
in
on
there.
it, yeah.
So during a press conference on October 18th, the sheriff called the incident a hoax, stating, this is the same sheriff that had said it was inconceivable, by the way. So they stated, we believe we have evidence at this point to indicate that this was a publicity stunt.
Well, at least he admitted it.
In hopes to better market themselves for a reality TV show. He also said that charges in the case have not yet been filed, but that the parents could both face misdemeanors and felony charges, including conspiracy to commit a crime contributing to the delinquency of a minor, filing a false report with authorities, and attempting to influence a public servant. The sheriff also stated that his comments on October 16th were part of a game plan to help gain Henney's trust. So he's saying, I wasn't stupid. I was doing it for a reason.
Ah, yes, of course.
I wasn't being fooled.
I was playing
I
along.
was doing the fooling.
Right. Yes.
Who knows if that's true? Maybe it is. Maybe
Yes.
it's not.
I play three-dimensional chess.
Right. So Richard Henney's lawyer, David Lane, announced on October 19th that Richard and Mayumi Henney would surrender to the police as soon as charges were filed and plead not guilty. So, throughout this investigation, the couple had a list of potential fines and penalties before the sentencing began. The FAA proposed a fine of $11,000 for the launching of an unauthorized aircraft. A spokesperson for the FFA revealed FFA is Future Farmers of America. I'm not talking about them. FAA later revealed that they had completed their investigation, but no details were released.
Federal Avionics Association?
Yeah, I think I'd said
My
that.
dad's a
early
pilot.
on.
I should know that.
Yes, right.
He had like FAA books all over the place.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of rules and regulations.
A billion.
The couple also had proposed fines for Richard Henney committing a Class 4 felony. He could have received 2 to 6 years in prison and fines between $2,000 to $500,000.
Damn.
Mayumi Henney was also facing a potential penalty that was a Class 3 misdemeanor, where she could receive up to 6 months in prison and fines ranging from $50 to $750. So hers were a little less severe than his.
Right.
I think they were thinking she was kind of just she probably didn't know what was happening in the moment, but probably later did and just didn't say anything. It's kind of what it sounds like to me. So, according to a supporting affidavit, the law enforcement submitted with their application for a search warrant to their house.
Damn.
Mayumi later admitted that she knew all along that Falcon was hiding in the residence. The affidavit alleges that the couple planned the hoax about 2 weeks before releasing the balloon on October 15th.
So she was just as in it as he was.
Just as
and still got that light sentencing?
Yeah. Well, that was what they were proposed. We'll get to actually what they were actually charged with in a minute.
Okay.
So they had been planning this for 2 weeks, and they had instructed their 3 children to lie to authorities, as well as the media regarding this hoax, for the purpose of making the family more marketable for future media interest.
Yikes.
Like, way too obsessed with being famous.
Yeah.
They were doing everything. And it sucks that they brought their kids into it.
Yeah.
Like, what are these kids supposed to do? If your parents, who are your heroes and the only people you know.
Your role models, essentially, at least. Yeah.
If they're telling you to do something, you're going to do something.
Yeah.
Like, you don't question it, because...
Well, it felt like the kid knew it was wrong, which is probably why he started throwing up on TV.
Yeah.
Because he was conflicted.
That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
As a 6-year-old, can you imagine?
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with. You know, you're usually worried whether or not you need to, confess if you took some cookies or something from the pantry or whatever.
Right.
Not whether or not, you're...
admitting to a crime.
A federal offense.
On, national TV.
Right. Reporters sticking microphones in your face and cameras on you and audiences and stuff.
No, that's so sad.
That's crazy.
So Richard Henney's attorney announced on November 12, 2009 that both parents intended to plead guilty to the charges filed against them. And the prosecutor was going to recommend probation for them. The attorneys said that the threat of deportation of Mayumi Henney, who was also a Japanese citizen, was a major factor in the plea negotiations.
Damn.
They didn't want her to be sent back to Japan.
Right.
On November 13th, Richard Henney pleaded guilty to a felony charge of attempting to influence a public servant. Mayumi Henney did not appear with him, but still faced a misdemeanor charge of false reporting. On December 23rd, 2009, a judge sentenced Richard Henney to 90 days in jail and 100 hours of community service. He also ordered him to write a formal apology.
That's nothing.
To the agencies that search for Falcon.
That's great. I mean, honestly, I don't think he deserved what they were saying.
That was really heavy, but he definitely deserved something to be like, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
don't do that. Mayumi Henney was sentenced to 20 days in jail.
I do feel like people are way over sentenced for non-violent offenses. Come on, you shouldn't be sending to something like this a guy or anybody to prison for 10 years or
No, that's crazy. I think 90 days and 20 days that's pretty appropriate.
That's fair.
You
Think
used all these
3
resources and basically
We're as Americans are so accustomed to hearing these insane prison sentences 20, 30, 40,
Yeah,
50 years
then,
where 90 days feels like nothing. Could you imagine yourself 3 months?
No, but if I used all these resources that could have been used somewhere else and extorted my children to do this stuff, I kind of think you deserve it.
I'm not saying you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's still 90 days isn't as light as it sounds. 3 months away from your kids, especially if you're a parent,
Yeah, but you look at the situation. You're the one who did it.
Yeah.
You gotta face the music or whatever they say.
Yeah, understood. So I do think that's fair. But what they were saying,
that was a little much.
10 years or whatever it was. I forget what you said.
There's not even people who sexually assault people sometimes don't even get 10 years.
Right. It's preposterous that some of these sentences.
I think it so wildly is different because it just really depends on what state you're in, what county you're in, what judge. Yeah, exactly. That's why there's mandatory minimums, which I disagree with.
That sounds weird.
I hate mandatory minimums.
There should be maximums. There should be like, you can't put people in prison for more than this amount of time for things. There should be maximums, not minimums.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. So,
granted, like things for like murder, the maximum should be like, I don't know, like 80 years or something like that, or or anything kind of violent crime, along those lines. They should have really high maximums, but listen, you can't go over 100 years or 80 years, but you can still do 80 years from this shit,
Yeah. Or it should be like, if you're going to go past that, it should be kind of like a death trial, like a death sentence trial, where like you have to meet certain qualifications to get to that.
Yeah, for exceptions and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, perhaps.
Like for mass murders and
something heinous or whatever. Yeah, but still, like a maximum for 80-year sentence for most people is life in prison.
Sentence, yeah. So
unless you commit the crime when you're 5, and you might get out when you're 85.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you have to do it with no parole.
Right.
Because a lot of people get paroled really early.
Yeah. Well, when we get elected to president of the world, we'll come up with we'll do all the details.
President of the world.
Yes.
So
we could be co-presidents.
We could be.
Yeah.
Co-presidents of the world.
Kevin and Ashley, 2024, co-presidents of the world.
That's a little fast. 2024. That's like right around the corner.
Well, let's get to it.
Try like 2028.
See, I don't want to wait for it. Can't hesitate. Yeah, and who got stuff? And we're referring to the Hamilton. Hamilton, he didn't wait for it, and he got all the things that made the other guy jealous, so he shot him.
Yeah, but he died.
He died because some jerk off shot him in the face.
Aaron Burr.
Yeah, right. Don't shoot people.
He's not standing still. He's lying in wait.
Right, whatever. That sounds like self-declared strategy. Yeah.
So, okay. So they were sentenced. Richard got 90 days. Mayumi got 20 days. Mm-hmm. But Mayumi was allowed to begin her sentence after her husband's sentence had ended. So people
can stay with kids?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They could do it like that. So, the Hennies were also banned from receiving any profits from the hoax for several years, meaning they couldn't do like interviews, they couldn't do book deals, nothing like that.
Well, they could, but they couldn't get any of the money for it.
They couldn't get any of the money for it.
So it sounds like.
Richard Henney was also ordered to pay $36,000 in restitution.
That's fair.
The governor issued pardons to the Hennies in 2020, saying that they had already paid the price in the eyes of the public.
All right, fair enough.
And that it was time for Colorado to move on from the case. It was a waste of precious time and law enforcement, military enforcement, and the general public. The governor eventually removed Mayumi's misdemeanor charge and Richard's felony charge from their records, stating that they deserved a second chance and still have the burden of guilt on them. So it's time, he said, it's in quotations, it's time to no longer let a permanent criminal record from the Balloon Boy saga follow and drag the parents for the rest of their lives.
That's fair.
It is fair, but a part of me is like, don't do it then.
Well, sure, but that's the whole point of the justice system is rehabilitation.
I guess so. You're right. It's like a vindictive side of me.
Yeah.
That's like, So on January 7th, 2010, Richard Henney began to claim in media interviews that he only pled guilty to prevent his wife's public deportation.
Uh-huh.
In a 2015 interview with Today, Henney repeated the claim that the incident was not a hoax.
Okay.
In a 2019 interview with ABC News, so this is recent, recent 2019, it's, whatever. That seems recent, but it's really not that recent. When you said
this case took place in 2009, I was like, okay, so like 5 years ago.
Time is weird.
No. That was like 14 years.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, 2019 is recent. It's really not that recent.
4 years ago.
In a 2019 interview with ABC News, the Henney family continued to maintain that the incident was not a hoax. And Mayumi Henney claimed to have confessed out of fear of deportation. So on December 23rd, 2020, the governor issued the pardons that we had just talked about. In an interview with the family, Mayumi brought forth a handwritten note from her attorney recounting the days preceding the events. She details the original plan was to have Falcon hide in the basement where the family would discover him and call off the search. However, Falcon instead hid in the attic above the garage, creating a genuine confusion and genuine tearfulness at their reunion. So she's saying, well, we had planned for him to hide in the basement, but in reality he hid in the attic, so we were genuinely concerned he got in the balloon. That was their story.
Right.
So it was like,
no. They
kind of admitted to it and kind of didn't.
Right.
You know what
They're
I'm
walking
saying?
back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So when this place that did this interview, 5280 is what it's called, confronted Richard about the notes, he reacted angrily towards them, saying, he reacted angrily towards his wife, Mayumi, during which she admitted to fabricating the story in the handwritten notes to save her family's reputation. So there you go.
Okay.
So she was trying to, like, give an explanation, but it just didn't work.
Right.
So yeah, that is the Balloon Boy saga.
Okay.
So I'm just like, I remember it happening, like, and like hearing it on the like radio station that this like little boy was like in this balloon, like flying. I'm like, can I see the balloon from Texas? No, of course couldn't, but like I remember that going through my head.
Right.
That I maybe could.
Sure.
And then I went and watched their episode of Wife Swap after that because I was like, I need to see who these people are.
Well, I was about to say, it sounded like it worked. Their publicity stunt was effective.
Yeah. I mean, and we're talking about them today,
Yep.
so it must be. His name is out there.
It did it.
And
Maybe not in the way that they necessarily anticipated or wanted, but they got famous.
What's that name with that saying? Not
Any
that
press
name.
is good press?
Yeah. So no press is bad press, or yeah. It's probably the way you said it.
Probably.
But so yeah. So I mean that was kind of silly, but I remember all of this happening. That's why I decided to do it because I was like, oh my god, I remember that. That's so funny. So they one of the articles I had read from the USA Today article, they have an interview with the little boy. Afterwards, now he's an adult,
right.
So they are like interviewing him.
Because this was not 5 years ago.
No, this is 2009,
right.
So he is, I don't think he was 6 when that happened.
So he's about 20.
Yeah, so he's a legitimate adult now. I was like, maybe he's just a teenager now. He's an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go hear what he has to say about it, you can go look up those interviews.
If he's still alive, he could have died and then.
No, he did an interview.
Oh, he did the interview. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's still out there.
Okay. Well, good for
And
him.
I hope that he does better than his parents.
Yeah, do better than that.
Yeah, don't take any inspiration from your parents.
Unless you want to do the
misdeeds.
motorcycle tornado thing. That's cool.
I mean, you can do that. That's not going to hurt anybody
Except
as long
yourself.
as you're like, well, yeah, okay. But like, I'm thinking like the Evil Knievel stuff,
right,
you know, like
yeah.
as long as like it's all set up and like, you know.
No, just do it. Just drive into a tornado. See what happens. With a camera. GoPro.
I'm going to think that is not going to end well.
He did it. The dad did it.
That's true. I wonder to what extent, though.
Yeah, he probably lied about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that. My grandpa, when I was little, in our hometown, there was like a big tornado. I think it was like an F4. It may have got to F5. I can't remember. Everyone was freaked out. It destroyed a big part of our town. And
Were there cows flying?
I'm assuming there was. I was not out there to see it. Probably. And all the meanwhile, my grandpa was on a roof somewhere watching it happen. So
That's kind of cool.
yeah. All of us were like in a cellar somewhere,
Sure.
you know, like
He's just
freaking
checking it
out.
out.
He's like up watching it somewhere.
I get it. They look cool.
They do look cool, but good God, the thing
I'm
you
sure if it
died
got-
from is like
I'm sure if it got close,
debris.
I'm sure if it got close enough, he would have.
It was really close. Our town wasn't that big.
If it started going in his direction, I'm sure he probably would have.
But like I said, what you die from usually is debris hitting you. It's not the actual
You
tornado.
can see the area of debris.
Until it hits you in the face.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. Anyway, all right, guys. I hope you enjoyed our story. And we'll be back next week with a terrible murder case.
Yay! Awful.
So awesome. So
Yeah.
next week's is a terrible murder case.
Terrible murder.
And we'll just keep kind of going back and forth like this. We'll do a fun, easy one and then a
people taking other people's lives for some reason.
Yes, so
It's kind of, that's entitlement.
that is entitlement. And next week it'll be your birthday almost. That wasn't the response I thought you were gonna get.
Yeah, no, it's just,
Old.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm looking forward to my sandwich.
good.
Yeah.
I'm making a sandwich for him.
That's
but he's-
all I wanted was a sandwich. That's all I want in general.
it's just a sandwich.
I'm very easy to please.
Well, all right, guys. Well, let's see you guys next week. Thank you for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe, do all the things. And we are like on everything now, by the way. We did that this week. So literally any platform you have.
That means we're on
We're
Spotify.
on Stitcher, Apple, Samsung, iHeartRadio.
These nuts. There's something called Deezer.
Deezer. Yeah. We're not making fun of Deezer. Don't sue us, Deezer.
Yeah, no. What would they do?
They'll want our cat.
No.
Don't take our cat.
Don't take our cat.
Anyways, we're on all the things, and if you find like something we're not on, send it to us. We'll get on it. Okay? So we're on all the things. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.